do I start? That's the most difficult bit. Oh, was this working?
Yes.
Yep.
That's better. So, as I said, where to start? Well, from the beginning of my course, it so happens that from the start of the course, back in September, I went to the National Museum of Cardiff. Back then, they were exhibiting an art piece by someone called John Akenfra on whose artwork's a video installation called Vertigo Sea. I could go on for this, but I thought it would be fitting to bring my sketchbook here. Here's the image they used for. Here's the image they used for to promote it. That's how I found out. And this here is a photograph of my visits to the exhibition. Now, what happened was what the installation was that it was a collage of footage projected on 3 screens, addressing issues such as the slave triangle, which happened long ago, overhunting. There was footage of bears being hunted and whaling for their blubber, and the refugee crisis. But towards the end, it was kind of addressing how we humans have affected the natural world, which in turn is affecting our daily lives from day to day. And so it's just basically making us aware of the ever-changing climate caused by us humans, which is in turn affecting how we live. And that's very important. And so happens that whilst in the museum, there was a poem society a meeting in another room where people will come up and that's wrong. What was it? Will come up onto stage and read out their poems in either English and Welsh. And behind the chairs, there was a table where it invites participants, visitors, to sit down and come up with a poem to describe how they picture themselves in a painting. Now, with the whilst I was on the desk, I remembered this guy here, but also it reminded me of my holidays in Cornwall during the pandemic. Now, Cornwall was the perfect location to set my poem at, because it's England's Celtic corner, it's got its own language, and it's rich in natural beauty, coastal walks, and industrial history, especially since Trevor Layton put the boiler on wheels, basically. So there's a collage of rich history in Cornwall. From that, here's the original poem. Here's a photograph of it, and just by chance, I've also I've got to read my book, so I'll read the first bit out. I am a wandering stranger, standing upon the cliff top by the sea. Crashing into the cliff walls, a strong breeze spat salt at me. The grass around my feet danced to the wind. Dull clouds passed over and observed from above. Birds danced in the air between the sky and the sea. Not one of them was a white dove. Looking at the birds, the sky, and at the sea, the surroundings were timeless, out of reach from society. It opens to question of what might the future be. That's it. Yeah. But strangely, when I pictured the sailor, which there's a copy of the illustration, I didn't picture him as if he was Cornish. I imagined him as Celtic, but where exactly? Could he be actually Cornish, but could he be from Wales, or Scotland, or Ireland? All other Celtic nations in the British Isles. Now, I've never known, I can't speak any of these languages, Welsh, Scots Gaelic and Irish, despite having a mix of those in my family background. So I've got a dad from Scotland and a mum from Wales. Here she is. Yeah. But despite that, despite my rich Celtic background, I don't know any languages. But I wanted to reach out to other minority speakers because Wales is not just an English-speaking country, it's a Welsh-speaking country. In fact, Welsh has existed long before English has. And so I thought it would be necessary or interesting to learn Welsh, to translate the poem in Welsh. Now, I've got the poem written here in Welsh, but I didn't just learn it from heart. I had help from family friends, and I had the poem translated by an animated lecturer in Llandaff, that's where I'm studying at the moment, who can speak Welsh, and I'm grateful for him for translating it. And since then, I've had these 2 versions recorded, and I would like to read the Welsh translation now. Rhoen deillen chafeddu, yn sefyll a ben crogwyn a lan y môr. Chwalw i'r waliau crogwyni, poelwch dalawer gyda'r ffalen anach. Dansioch a glas wyllt tan y gwynt o amgylch fynd rhaid. Cwmynad y flas yn mynd drosodd ac yn aswyli o ddiw chod. Dansio a dyrynau a chyngair o wel môr. Nid clom o wythron ohonyn nhw. Edrych ar ei ada awe ac allan y môr am golchoedd oesol, allan o groeth cymdeithas. Cododd y cwestiwn bell alle dy ffodifod. Alright, thank you very much. Diolch am balu on.
Well done. Thank you, that was beautiful. The opening, that was great.